Films, which wrapped up in 1989, revived in 1997. I know that Mickey developed several ideas for TV producer Jay Bernstein, and in fact, The Killing Man began that way, until the story idea inspired Mike Hammer's creator to write a novel instead. It was too good to waste on television, he told me. Mickey also devised the ending of the otherwise terrible Bernstein-produced, non-Keach Hammer telefilm Come Die With Me, 1994, a production Spillane disavowed. Part of my reasoning regarding the origin of the synopsis is that Mickey includes scenes in which Mike Hammer is not present, inappropriate for the first-person approach of the books, while the TV episodes sometimes featured such scenes. I have, of course, kept the point of view consistently Hammer's own in these pages. The probable origin of the story makes this novel something of a departure, more typical of the TV series in that Hammer has a client, which he rarely does in the largely vengeance-oriented books. But as the plot here is predominantly the work of Hammer's creator, I trust readers will enjoy what might be viewed as a partial change of pace. All of this suggests the intended time frame of the tale was the late 80s to the very early 90s. The political subject matter reflects Mickey's own distrust and even contempt for certain real-life figures of that era. Mickey and I did not entirely share political beliefs, which bothered neither one of us a whit. We were friends, and we were pros. Such a thing was irrelevant. Besides, Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote. Max Allan Collins, October 2018. Chapter 1. The gray sky hanging over the city didn't promise rain. You couldn't make out any clouds in that slate dome, and only the sodden feel of humidity said that ashen sky might ever let loose. Was that the rumble of thunder getting itself in the mood, or the dissonant song of a distant train yard? Maybe all that gray would just turn into night. It had been this way since mid-afternoon, and in late fall, darkness came sudden. The new Van Kemp building, at 60 stories, held up its shimmering middle finger to that gray sky and the gloom it threatened, or maybe to the ghosts of those who dwelled in the tenements such new buildings displaced, the sweatshop workers and their progeny who had made the original Van Kemp richer than sin. Such staggering wealth Thaddeus Van Kemp's great-great-grandchildren still shared, including the famous socialite Nicole Van Kemp, even as the causes she championed may have made the old boy spin in his fancy marble mausoleum. Fighting for women's rights, campaigning against landmines, and throwing AIDS fundraisers. How could she? And beautiful Nicole's brand of sin was nothing old Thaddeus would have recognized. Free love, Park Avenue style, including one lover who she told Vanity Fair was a Nijinsky of cunnilingus. Nor would the original Van Kemp likely appreciate this new glass and steel monolith on Fifth Avenue bearing the family name. He and others with the famous surname had seen very different buildings go up in the 1900s into the 1930s, buildings that still dominated Manhattan today. Edifices with architectural dignity, reflecting the stature of the men they'd been named for, not a giant glass tombstone. No question about it. Once you die, you really start losing control of things. The sky rumbled again, and the vast gray ceiling bore darker patches now. I shrugged the collars of my trench coat up and tugged my pork pie fedora down. I looked like a refugee from some old Private Eye paperback cover, which is what I was. You had to have an image to make it and maintain it in New York, the city so nice they got redundant about it. The Seamus shtick was mine. My coat and hat, like the dirty talk and public service characterizing that Nicole dame. I might be meeting her tonight. Cunnilingus wasn't on the menu, but you never knew what might get served up in this town.